Hi, my name is Georgia. I'm a program specialist at NBRC. I've recorded this tutorial for you today on how to fill out the SF425. It's a federal financial form that we require once a year of our grantees, and that form is due by September. It's due at September 30th of each reporting year. And we expect the form no later than October 30th of that same year. If we do not receive that form, you will be marked out of compliance and you won't be able to receive your reimbursement requests until we get that back into compliance. So when you submit the form, please send it to admin@nbrc.gov with your grant ID in the subject line. Please title the PDF that you submit with your grant ID, the fiscal year you're submitting for, and SF425. That would be wonderful. So I'm going to show you how to find the form on our website. The nbrc.gov is our web address, and this is what it looks like. If you go to the resources tab, that'll pull up a list of different options. Go to the first one, grant administration, documents and forms. And underneath the standard forms is where you're going to find the SF425. There are a couple ways you can get this form onto your desktop. The most successful way is right-clicking and save link as. Once you click that, it should pop up on your desktop. You can also click it. Sometimes Adobe isn't up to date on even mine. I have the most up-to-date Adobe and it doesn't pop up. So just know that if that happens to you, right-clicking the document and saving onto your actual desktop will 100% work. We'll also have a link to this video right there below. And right here is a sample document line by line on how to fill out the SF425. I'm going to go through those with you right now. Here is the SF425 sample and the SF425 blank copy. I'm sure some of you have received this from me. If we've needed to work through it, I'm going to go through what you need to fill out and what you don't. On the first box, you're going to put Northern Border Regional Commission. Then your second box is going to be your grant ID, NBRC with your year award, G, then comes the state that you're in, and then the number you were assigned. Box 3 is your information. Please list the grant title or name, organization, with the street address, state, count, city, and zip code. We don't need a UEI or an EIN. You can leave those blank. Also, we don't need box number 5. Box number 6, always mark it annual. This is an annual report. We don't want to see it any more than we need to, and we don't want you doing any more work than you have to. Box number 7 is cash. NBRC operates on a cash system, not accrual. You may operate in that way. That is great, but for the purposes of recording on this form, we require it to be cash. And then box number 8, you can find that date, very specific date, on your grant, most recent updated grant agreement. Usually grants are starting October 1st with the year and go for about 3 years, depending on the project. You would usually end 9/30, whichever year that would be. So box number 9 is your reporting year. It's always going to be 9/30 / whatever year you're submitting for. Now we'll go through line by line what each line means and how you would fill it out. for your particular project. Box A and B are always going to be the same number. This means that you've submitted your receipts that you've paid for these certain items, and the MBRC has reimbursed you for that. So just wanted to add another point is that after 9/30 of each reporting year, we recognize that you're going to keep spending. We don't want to see those numbers represented on this form. This is a cumulative form all the way up until 9/30 of what NBRC has reimbursed to you. So if you're in the middle of processing after 9/30, you've submitted but didn't get the cash, we wouldn't include that on this form. It's not involved in this fiscal year. So, for example, this grantee has spent $10,000 and has received $10,000 before the 9/30 date. There's no cash on hand. We never give cash. We never allow cash on hand. You have to spend to get with NBRC. So if you hadn't spent anything or received anything, both of these lines will remain zero, which means C will also remain zero. So typically, if a grantee hasn't spent funds for 1 or 2 years, this form is going to look pretty identical. But if you are constantly requesting, it is going to fluctuate year to year. So once we've gotten to A, B, and C, line D is your grant award. Now, when I'm reviewing these forms, I pull up your grant agreement. I look at the award amount. I'm looking at the date, and I'm cross-referencing these amounts. So, for example, this grantee received $100,000. So that's going to go in line 10D. 10E is the amount that we've reimbursed you, federal share of expenditures. So that would be the number that you've listed in A or B. If you haven't yet, that would be 0. In this case, it's 10,000. What happens in F is a subtraction. The line D minus E equals F. So as we can see, the grantee has 90,000 left of their grant award. And line G is just confirming the total amount. The line G should always match with line D. If you're finding a amount in line H, then something has gone wrong and you need to go back into your previous 4 lines to make sure that something didn't get screwed up. Line H should never have an amount unless you're at closeout and you're unobligating funds. So as a grantee at NBRC, all of your funds usually are obligated right off the bat. And that number is always going to remain 0 up until the end. Lines I, J, and K are in regards to your match amount. If you don't have a match, or you have a waiver, you can leave these blank. 0 is fine. If you do, say for example, this grantee has 50,000 and they've spent 10,000 of their match, that would be reflected on lines I and J. The difference is reflected in line K, so it shows that they have 40,000 left of their match. All right, if you've met your match and that line is 50, that's great. This is a good form to show you what you have left of your grant and what you have left of your match. Some of you might have an indirect expense or program income. You may go ahead and fill those out, but that is not something that I'm going to be cross-referencing when I'm checking the form. And the last section that seems to be always what holds grantees up is filling in every single little bit of information. First, last name, title of your position, telephone, email, and the date, which is like the #1 thing that's always left out on this form. And most importantly, some form of an electronic signature. It needs to be Adobe signed or electronically signed. You cannot just type your name out. I will ask you to have that electronically signed if it's just typed out. And that is it. If you have any further questions about this form, I'm happy to answer them. I am available at admin@nbrc.gov. Don't hesitate to reach out. I thank you for watching this video, and if you would like to reach out, my name is Georgia, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.